Welcome back to the Explainer. So, we're hitting day 4 of the Pitch Vision Academy material today, and honestly, this dedication to understanding the underlying mechanics of the game is exactly what separates casual fans from true experts. Today is absolutely one of my favorite lessons because it literally unlocks the secrets behind the most exciting teams in the world. The concepts we're going to unpack are exactly what makes analyzing elite squads like Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City, and Barcelona so incredibly fascinating. Here is our roadmap for today. 1. The truth about pressing. 2. Defensive shape and compactness. 3. 5 key pressing triggers. 4. Advanced tactics and traps. And 5. Thinking like an analyst. All right, section 1. The truth about pressing, moving beyond just running around. Okay, let's dive into this. Look, if you ask a casual fan what pressing is, they'll usually tell you it's just running towards the player with the ball, right? Like kids in a park, just chasing the ball. But that is only a tiny fraction of the story. The professional definition is way more precise. Pressing is a coordinated effort of several players to limit the opponent's time, space, and passing options in order to win the ball back. Notice those 3 specific targets: time, space, and passing options. Good pressing intentionally removes all 3 of those elements at the exact same time. If you just chase the ball blindly, well, the opponent simply passes right around you. Let's look at how this systematic shutdown actually works in a real match scenario. Picture this. The opposition goalkeeper has the ball. Now, the striker doesn't just put their head down and sprint at the keeper. No way. Look at step 1. The striker angles their run to specifically block the passing lane to one of the center backs. Step 2. The winger pushes up to block the fullback. Step 3. The attacking midfielder gets tight and marks the defensive midfielder. Suddenly, the goalkeeper has absolutely nowhere safe to pass. It's like this synchronized net closing in on them. And that, right there, is real pressing. Moving on to section 2, defensive shape and compactness. Moving as a single unit. Now, before a team can press effectively, they absolutely must have a strong foundation. I mean, you can't just spring a trap if your net has giant holes in it, right? So, defensive shape is defined as the intentional spacing and connected organization of a team when they do not have possession. Professional teams don't just have 11 players running around randomly. They move in total unison. They maintain specific, calculated distances between the defenders, the midfielders, and the attackers. They stay completely connected, because without this organizational shape, any attempt to press will just leave massive, easily exploited gaps that elite opponents will absolutely tear right through. So, the crucial point to take away is this golden rule of football positioning. Attackers use width, but defenders use compactness. When a team has the ball, they want to stretch the pitch, making it as big as possible to find little gaps. But the second a team loses the ball, they must immediately become compact. A compact team is incredibly difficult to break down because there is simply zero room to thread a pass through the middle. Section 3. 5 key pressing triggers. Knowing exactly when to strike. Once a team has that compact defensive shape, they don't just press constantly for 90 minutes. I mean, they'd literally drop dead from exhaustion. Instead, they wait for specific signals. They wait for pressing triggers. A pressing trigger is that exact split second when the entire team collectively decides, okay, now, we press right now. Here are the 5 key triggers pro teams are constantly hunting for. A bad first touch, a backward pass, a pass to the sideline, forcing a player onto their weak foot, and a slow pass. When any of these happen, the defending team suddenly has a clear advantage, and they pounce. Let's highlight the ultimate 5-star trigger, the bad first touch. If an opposing defender miscontrols the ball even slightly, it is blood in the water. It immediately signals the entire pressing team to swarm. Why? Well, because the player who made the mistake now needs an extra touch and extra time just to get the ball back under control. They aren't looking up, they aren't scanning for a pass, they're staring down at their feet. That total lack of control is the absolute perfect window of vulnerability. Another brilliant tactical trigger is trigger 3, the pass to the sideline. When the ball reaches a fullback near the edge of the pitch, the pressing team uses the touchline as an extra defender. Think about it for a second. The player on the ball immediately loses 180 degrees of passing options because, well, they can't pass out of bounds. The pressing team swarms in and traps the opponent right against the line, severely limiting any possible escape routes. It's incredibly effective. Section 4, Advanced Tactics and Traps. Elite strategies in modern football. Understanding those triggers is essential, for sure. But at the very highest levels of modern football, Teams are employing incredibly sophisticated mind games. Because pressing has become so intense lately, a totally new type of player profile has become super valuable: the press-resistant player. These are players who remain completely ice cold even when surrounded. How do they do it? Well, they scan the pitch constantly. Before the ball even gets to them, they expertly take their first touch away from the incoming pressure, and they pass quickly. They're literally processing the game faster than the press can close them down. And then, of course, we have one of the biggest tactical ideas in modern football: the counterpress, or gegenpress. Instead of retreating into that defensive shape the second they lose the ball, actually, scratch that. It's more like they refuse to retreat at all. A counterpressing team immediately tries to win it back right there, high up the pitch. The logic is just brilliant. The exact moment a team wins the ball, they're usually pretty disorganized because they were just focused on defending. The counterpress turns that tiny split second of vulnerability into a prime attacking opportunity. Even more devious than that is the pressing trap. This is when a defending team actually leaves a player, like an opposing center back, looking perfectly open. They literally allow a pass on purpose. But the second that ball is played, boom, the trap is sprung. 3 players aggressively close that center back down in a super dangerous area. It's essentially an optical illusion, designed to lure the opponent into making a fatal mistake. Finally, Section 5. Thinking like an analyst. Taking theory onto the pitch. So we've covered the what, the how, and the why of pressing. Now it's time to take all this theory and learn how to apply it. The source material for our explainer today beautifully bridges English and Bengali tactical concepts, which is great to see. But the core takeaway for us here is the importance of mastering football English, the precise tactical vocabulary. You aren't just saying a team is running hard, you're identifying a counterpress. You aren't just noticing a mistake, you're spotting a trigger. Mastering these specific terms actually changes the very way your brain processes the game as it unfolds in front of you. And this brilliantly illustrates the stark difference between casual description and professional live commentary. A casual fan sits there and says, "Oh, Arsenal are pressing," but an analyst says Arsenal are pressing aggressively after every backward pass. Their front 3 are forcing play towards the touchline, where the midfield quickly joins the press. Notice how that tells you exactly how and why the action is happening. It pulls in the triggers, the touchline traps, and the defensive shape to paint a totally complete tactical picture. So I want to leave you with a bit of a challenge for the next match you watch. Don't just follow the ball. Watch the plan behind the action. Every single time a team wins possession, I want you to ask yourself these 5 questions. Why did they win it? Was there a specific pressing trigger? Who actually initiated the press? Did the rest of the team follow in a compact shape? And finally, was it successful? By answering these, you're no longer just a spectator. You are an analyst. So the next time you turn on a match, I have to ask, are you just going to watch the action, or are you finally ready to see the plan?